For this week, we are making chicken chili. These are all the things that you're going to need aside from the blended chili peppers that we did a couple of recipes back. I like to make that ahead of time and throw it in the freezer so I don't have to worry about it later. First things first, we're going to go ahead and chop that onion up. Actually, you know what first things first is. Clean up your area before you even get started. Make sure your hands are clean and your area is clean. Then you can get to chopping. So we are going to go ahead and get this onion chopped up pretty good. Now, don't judge me because I am not one of those fancy chefs. I just do it to the point to where I'm happy. And any time that you are dealing with sharp objects, please make sure to be careful and not get your fingers. You do not want to have to go to the hospital or clean that mess up. It's not fun. All the excess pieces there, you see little pieces of onion I'm putting off to the side. That is going to go into my compost bin and it's going to help make more soil later for my garden. And I am a bit of a clean freak, so I do wash my hands quite a bit. All those onions did go into my Instapot because that's where I'm going to be making my chicken chili. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop my chicken open, then I'm going to rinse them out and then add them to my pot after I slice them thinly. Because the smaller you cut them up, the quicker it is to cook it up, and I'm going to use just a little bit of chili powder. I guess I forgot to get that out, and some homegrown garlic mix that we make that I mix with my homegrown peppers and some salt. And I'm just deciding on what other spice I want to use, if any, and it looks like I chose carne asada. Yes, carne asada, that's what I used. And I like to get my meat from Sam's. It's a lot cheaper that way. It's already pretty much paid for its membership a couple times over just in buying meat because it's expensive. This package, it had four packages like that, and I think it was like $15. It wasn't too bad. And I do like to rinse them off, just get whatever gooey stuff that's on them off, and then I cut the fat pieces off because the animals like having little treats, and then I toss them into my pot along with my garlic. And after I wash my hands yet again, I'm going to plug in my Instapot, add in at least a cup, maybe two, just enough to submerge your chicken. And then you're going to cook it, I believe, at meat stew level and just let it go for a while. I usually like to cook it about 30 minutes or a little bit longer. And it's pretty much a hurry up and wait at this moment. Once your chicken is done, I'm going to safely release the pressure inside my Instapot. It's a lot like a pressure cooker, so be careful if you do this. You don't want to burn your hands with the steam coming out of the nozzle. Then before you know it, it is chicken time. So we are going to use one of our wooden spatulas to kind of break it up. But before I get too jazzed with that, I am going to drain some of the juice out of it so it's not too runny. And placing my chicken back into my Instapot, showing you that I did leave some of the juice in the bottom because that broth is pretty tasty. Here's that chili that we made a couple of weeks ago for our Mexican casserole, I believe. It's pretty easy, pretty tasty. But if you stick it in the freezer, it lasts forever. But you're going to break that chicken up really nice. You don't have to get your hands burnt. You don't have to do the whole fork method. This works just fine. You don't have to burn yourself. It takes all of a couple minutes and you're done. Like I said before, I do lazy smart. Now for this one, I'm trying a new spice that my husband introduced me to. This is a sweet heat chili seasoning mix made by Fireball. No, there's no alcohol inside of it. It just tastes pretty good. I liked it. And it turned out pretty good on the chicken as well as the beef. So I would suggest it. We found this on the clearance aisle. I think we got it for $1. And we're going to use some homegrown peppers. This is going to be pretty spicy, especially after the second day. It was super hot. Now we're going to add our chili mix that we made a couple weeks ago. I like using freezer bags just for this reason because it makes things so much easier and you can pre-make things, throw them in the freezer, and they'll be ready whenever you need them. Whether it be the chili mixture that I'm throwing in here now, or onions, or bell peppers, or whatnot. And of course I gotta wash my hands again. And to speed this up, because watching me stir things up is boring as all get out, so I'm not going to make you suffer through that. But after it's good and mixed, we are going to go ahead and add some tomato paste, some diced tomatoes, some pinto beans, black beans. I'd add chili beans, but I didn't have any, so I just used what I had. And then I dug around in the refrigerator and grabbed the remaining corn and anything else that I could use. And I like adding dark chocolate to my chili. I think it adds flavor to it and takes the bitterness of the tomatoes out. And it's definitely not one of my dishes unless I add a buttload of garlic to it. So we have to use enough till the ancestors tell us, enough, child. I like my garlic. And this stuff is perfect because it's not expensive. It's super cheap. You can buy this at Sam's, or you can buy the smaller jars from Walmart. And I think Kroger sells them as well. And before I add these cans to it, I am going to go ahead and drain the juice so it doesn't add more liquid than what we need. And I have it on the cooking setting on my Instapot for meat stew, so it continues to cook while I'm getting it prepared. Even though the chicken is already ready, I want the rest of it to be pretty tasty too, so it has to heat up and cook. I did do things a bit smarter this time around. I got my little rubber spatula where I can just scoop all this out and not have to bang the can like a maniac. Mix that up real good and we can move on to the next one, which would be the black beans. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my homegrown garlic mix that I like to use. This is just made with dehydrated garlic and some peppers that I've dehydrated and blended up. Now, if you do that at home, I do advise doing it outside or else you're not going to be able to breathe. And then I'm going to add some chili powder and some salt and pepper. No, not the band. And then make sure to mix it up really good. Like I said before, I'm going to try to speed it up whenever I'm mixing things up. If you don't like it, please let me know in the comments, or if you have any other suggestions, please let me know. And I'm just going to use some leftover corn because I don't want to use a whole can, so this works and it's good use for leftovers. And I'm also going to grab that ranch style beans leftovers that I saw in there, and it's going to go in the pot as well because I like my beans. I don't think it's chili unless it has beans in it, and we throw a lot of beans. And here it is after we let it cook for a little while. It was delicious. And I do make my cornbread in the waffle maker, so I like my edges.